What is the occupation that you are currently in?
Actually, I was retired last year.
So what was the occupation that you did before you retired?
Oh, okay. Before retire, I was an engineer. Also, I was a company operation manager.
Oh, nice. So how did you end up deciding to pursue this occupation?
Okay, that occupation, I went to engineering school when I was 16 years old. So I went to, my major was chemical engineering plus automation, like processing automation, like a processing control. There's a chemical company or petroleum companies, they do have, there's the processing, right? The chemical reaction processing. I was in a controlling major, like, computer science combined with electronic engineer. So I really had a double major in the college time, engineering school, with the chemical engineer plus, like in U.S., there would be double E. But in China, we call auto control, processing control.
Oh, nice. So, what was the biggest challenge that you have as a woman working in a fairly male-dominant field?
Actually, when the time I was in the school, we have about less than 20% women in the engineer school. Like in our small community, in our class, we have 31 students only, but we have about 6 girls. So all others are guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest with you, when you study an engineer, because engineer mostly is math plus the physics base, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then my major required the chemistry because I was in computer engineer base. So instead of 26, I think we usually have a 26 subject in class. You can graduate from college. We had to take 38.
Oh.
So it's a really, a lot more class than the regular college graduate. So the challenge was, I don't know, the boys, you feel their physics because of their hands-on people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for women, usually not hands-on that much. So like a hands-on lab and stuff, you always try to hands-on. That's really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you go to the factory, when we have an internship in the big, chemistry factory or petroleum processing factory. That's all guys in there.
Mm-hmm.
So my big challenge is physical. It's not a study. Study is okay. Knowledge I can study. But the physical is really hard. When I was in the petroleum processing company, we have those big towers, like about 50, 80 meters tall. So they want you to walk up to the top of those towers to look at some of the equipment, some of the measurement, equipment in there. So I was bending down. When you look down,
Mm-hmm.
it's so high.
Oh.
There's a little stair. You see those big towers has a little stair with the fence in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's really difficult for a person walk up. So when you see down, that was the river, Yangtze River.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel, I can't just move at all. My foot cannot move because I was so scared of height. But you know what? I have to go up. Those guys going very fast,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I'm in the bottom, but you can't stop in the middle. So I would just tell myself, I have to be strong. I have to be strong. So all the time, you got to be strong to go up. That was the time I was an intern. While I was still in the college, I was interning in the big factory. Then after I graduated, then I worked in the Chinese Academy of Science and Technology. I worked in the biggest research institute. It's called Changchun Fine Machine and stuff. Research place. There's all top scientists in there. Everybody's top, all from the top food and stuff. Then I was working on a computer control field. It's not a chemical control. It's like today we launched the space shuttle or those kind of a space program.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been in the launch space for many, many times. So we're writing a program for the orbit control. For years, before I come to the U.S., I worked in the institute for 4 years. So you will see, the challenge was, woman, after you get married, have family, then you still have to travel up to the place, which is not many people in there.
Mm-hmm.
The first business travel I had, there's no women dressing because usually all guys.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They don't even have a women's restroom. So what I did is, with the people, the guys with together, the friend always, when I go take a shower, the friend always stand outside the door, watch the other people, don't let them go in.
Mm.
So that, it's not academic strategy. I don't want to say that. I think it's the hands-on, also the environment. You work with people, it's that together. Then also some of the guys doesn't want you to be in their group because, they have 10 guys with one woman. This causes a lot of problems for them, right?
Yeah.
They usually want the guy group together. But I've been working in an institute for 4 years before I come to the U.S. After I come to the U.S., I work in a computer company as an engineer for almost 10 years. So I was working on a computer hardware, repair, design, testing, all the computer companies for 10 years.
Oh, wow. So at any point did you want to quit? And how did you push through these?
Okay. At the time you want to quit, I think the first time I want to quit is after the first class of an engineer, the drawing class, engineer drawing. Once I see the engineer drawing, I think I'm not sure do I like this. You know what? At the time, because I went to the college in 1980. At that time in China, just starting take a test to go to college, right?
Mm-hmm.
I really don't know too much. I wouldn't say because I like engineering, I go to the engineering school. I was thinking the engineer, you learn something real, then you can do something instead of the literature class. That's why I chose the engineering school. Also, the engineering school, they recorded the top student, and then I got a practical pretty high, and I went to the engineering school. But once I go to the engineering school, and the first class is engineer drawing, so they gave me, for example, a block, which is to draw that, then you say you got a 3D drawing, you need to draw to the 3 dimensions. Then I said, I'm not sure I like that, right? So I don't know how to do that in the beginning. So then do I want to stay here? But that time, to be honest, in China, I don't have any choice to just transfer to the different major. I don't have a choice. That's all I have. Because of that's all I have, and I said, you know what? While I'm here, I can quit. If I quit, I got nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to study hard for this one. Push myself. If I don't like it, then I have to do it well.
Mm-hmm.
But after you do it well, you're getting like it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first time I want to quit.
Mm. Yeah, that sounds
But
really...
then after go to the work, so when I had the first trip, I went with the guys, that I kind of say, okay, do I want this job? So it's always like that when we go to the place, it's really boring. With 20, 30 miles, there's nobody there. So you can't go anywhere, and then we don't have much TV, we don't have a signal, and every day I'll just read a book and do my book. Have to write a program, the controlling program. Keep writing it with the guys. Even when I want to take a shower, someone needs to watch the door. Do I want this job? Then I said, you know what? Because of that, I want to do something. If guys can do it, I should be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe I can do better. So then I'll just push myself. Okay, once I'm here, I want to do it better to show you guys I can do it. But by the time I came to the U.S. to finish that work, I was working for Institute for 4 years. Then the woman got a bathroom in there. We got more women come to this job duty, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then we're fighting to get a bathroom.
Oh, wow. So, during this point, like, do you have any personal role models?
Okay, the role models I would say is my tutor, my mentor in the institute. That mentor in the institute is a very top scientist in China. He graduated from Chinese University of Science and Technology, which is the top, like our MIT here equivalent, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's the top computer science engineer software, which in China at that time not many people trained as a special in computer science. So I was working with him for 4 years. So he mentored me, teach me a lot how you can be a good engineer, how you can work with other engineers, how you cooperate with other people to do the project. So I learned, when you just graduated from college, you don't have experience, you don't have, hands work, experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to learn from the scratch how do you write your project proposal, how do you analyze all the data, how do you do the lab work, how do you close your project, how do you write a report of the project, how do you publish your, scientific paper in different parts. I think, he teach me a lot, which I use a lot
Mm-hmm.
in my life, in the future life.
Yeah, most definitely. Is there any advice that you would give other women who want to pursue the STEM field?
What I think is I give it to the woman, including my own daughter. I think if you want to learn the science, you need to be interested in that. You need to have a passion of it. Because the science is kind of a little bit boring, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then it's harder, always harder. So I have 2 daughters. They both learn in the bio field. My oldest daughter is in neuroscience plus a philosophy major. So my second daughter is in pharmacy school. So she started the biochemistry or something like that. So if you want to learn science, you got to put yourself focused. Okay? If you deeply like it, then you need to learn deep. You need to hold the background, right? If you don't have enough background, you not learn well. So you don't want to stop your problem. You always asking if you have a question. At the time you have a question, you don't want to wait.
Mm-hmm.
So then I think they need a more internship, and like hands-on work. Then you just don't be scared of it. Because some of the women say, "Oh, that's too hard. Maybe I don't want to start it. Maybe something." No, all about the passion.
Mm-hmm.
If you're passionate with something, you will do well. If you're not passionate about it, just don't push yourself to that. It'll be hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.